So now we're going to focus on using the elliptical marquee tools. So the marquee tools are all located under the move tool in the toolbar. If you push M on your keyboard, you're going to see that this whole family of tools lives in this drop-down menu. You've got the rectangular marquee tool, the elliptical marquee tool, a single row marquee tool, and a single column marquee tool. These tools are all going to give you selections on your image in this shape. We're going to focus on the elliptical marquee tool, so go ahead and select that tool from your toolbar. The next thing I want you to do is to zoom in again on your image, but this time we're going to focus on the olives. Make sure that you have your original layer selected because we're going to be grabbing the olives off your original layer. So I have my elliptical marquee tool selected, and I'm going to start in the upper left corner of the olives, and I'm going to click my mouse and keep it held down and drag to create this kind of circular selection. And I'm going to go ahead and release. So if you click inside your selection after you release your mouse, you can move the selection around and get it perfect. So for some reason you didn't get your selection the way that you wanted the first time, you can go ahead and do a Command D to deselect your selection. And this is a little bit harder and more advanced, but I think it's important to have this in your wheelhouse. So I'm going to click and drag again, and I'm not going to release my mouse. Holding my mouse down still, so I haven't released my mouse yet, I'm going to put my finger on the space bar on my keyboard, which is going to let me move the selection around while I still have it selected. So then I can reposition it. So I'm going to reposition my selection. I'm going to release my space bar and move my selection so that it's grabbing all of those olives. Hold down my space bar and move it, reposition. And now I have a perfect selection. I'm going to release my mouse. I'm going to zoom out using Command minus on my keyboard. And I'm going to use my spacebar to reposition. And I'm going to go back up and make a copy on the original layer of these olives. And I'm going to do that by doing Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And you'll see in my Layers panel, I now have a new olive layer selected. I'm going to double click on the words Layer 1, and I'm going to name this Olives. I'm going to take, with my olives layer selected, I'm going to grab my move tool from my toolbar, and I'm going to move my olives, my duplicated olives, to the bottom right corner of my cutting board. Again, go ahead and make sure that you do a File, Save. So you want to save your work where you are, because we're going to be using this exact file for your next exercise. And note that you have a tomato layer, an olive layer, your original layer, and your white background layer. So keep this open for the next exercise and the next tool.